Awesome. And so, talking about your book a little bit, to break it down kind of first, what does it mean to be parents of anxious, inflexible, and neurodiverse for those that are aren't aware of all the terms?
Well, they know anxious and inflexible. Your kid just doesn't like transitions, is frightened to venture out and try new things. With neurodiverse, it covers children on the autism spectrum, as well as children with attention disorders such as ADHD or mood disorders such as bipolar. I've included information on borderline personality disorder and Tourette's, but it is just a general scope because a lot of these disorders have comorbid symptoms, and what works for one child works for another. And what was interesting for me when I wrote it is that many of the special needs travel tips would help neurotypical children as well.
Yeah, I'm sure there's always parents looking for some kind of helpful tip because traveling with children alone can be stressful, can be hard on the family. And so I think so many families are going to find a benefit to your book.
I hope so. I think that the keys to traveling with children are universal, and they include starting small and making things predictable, and creating a frame of reference for the child through advanced preparation. And I go into all of that in depth, along with various hotels and airline programs and museums and cruise lines. And you have it that have special programs specifically for this audience.
So, kind of like you mentioned, you cover so many different topics in your book and share so many tips. But so for those listening today, what are some of your key tips that parents should stick to when it goes to vacationing with their kids?
What the really important is to understand that any child, when taken out of their comfort zone, is going to be anxious or inflexible. They don't have to be on the spectrum to have those kind of issues. What seems like a lot of fun for you and me might be very frightening for a child. So it's very important to put yourself in their shoes and look at it from their perspective. So I always recommend starting small. And what does that mean? It means that before you take, a 2-week trip around the country with different hotel rooms every night,
Mm.
you might go to a friend's house or an understanding relative's house and just sleep overnight one night, so you can see how the child's going to react in a bedroom other than his or hers. And so you'll have a better knowledge of what to bring and how to prepare when you do go on that expensive vacation. It might be buying picture books that talk about their favorite characters and how they experience traveling so that they can relate. It might be showing videos. And thank goodness we live in this age of technology when there are videos for everything. You can show videos of the hotel or of the airport or of any aspect. I know one father who shows videos of the different rides at the amusement park they're going to go to, so that they can rule out what's not going to work. Involves scheduling and figuring out that you're not going to do everything in one day. Maybe you're going to do one or two things each day, because traveling with children is not like traveling before you had children. You really have to pace yourself. There was just so much about even going to local aquariums or zoos, or even a garage sale, and framing it as an adventure or a tour,
Mhm.
because then you've created a frame of reference. The child enjoys this. And then when you're planning the bigger trip, you can say, oh, remember when we went on the tour of, the local zoo? Well, this is going to be a little bit like that. So you're creating some flexibility for them, and I'm sorry, predictability for them.
Yeah, I love that because then it's not like throwing them into a scary situation. It's more testing the waters, going little by little to kind of encourage them build confidence.
Yeah, you also get a buy-in from them. Maybe you have them help you plan the trip. And when you give them different options, you make sure that all of them are okay with you, so there's no wrong answer. Or you have them help pack or help pick out what they're going to bring. Get a buy-in so they're more positive about the vacation. Also, think about what their special interests and hobbies are. And this is especially true for children on the spectrum who might have special interests that they are, you know, thrilled about 24, 16 hours a day. It's all they talk about. I have a section of the book. It's one of my favorite chapters, and it's about building a trip around a child's special interests. So if your child has a thing about trolley cars, or elevators or whatever is that unusual interest, you can find a museum that caters to it. And I've broken it down by state and then by city. So you can say, okay, we're good. This is only in the town, next to us. We can go over there and we can, really get you involved in something you love. And that would be a wonderful bonding experience for the child as well.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. So having better like planning tips, kind of where you can go and get them excited about seeing different things as well.